He was David's heir. He asked for wisdom, and God gave him everything. He built the glorious temple, commanded unmatched wealth, and ruled the world's greatest kingdom. But for the wisest man who ever lived, the greatest challenge wasn't ruling an empire. It was ruling his own heart. This is the rise and fall of Solomon. From humble shepherd to mighty king, David had unified Israel, establishing Jerusalem as its capital. But the grandest vision, a magnificent temple to house the Ark of the Covenant, remained unfulfilled. It was a task God reserved for David's son, a man of peace. That son was Solomon, born of David and Bathsheba, chosen by divine promise to inherit a kingdom and build a legacy. Solomon's ascension to the throne was not without challenge. Following a brief power struggle, David, on his deathbed, charged his young successor, "Be strong, show yourself a man, and observe what the Lord your God requires." A new era was dawning for Israel, one destined for unparalleled glory, but also fraught with the subtle temptations of power and prosperity. Early in his reign, Solomon traveled to Gibeon to offer sacrifices to the Lord. There, God appeared to him in a dream, saying, "Ask for whatever you want me to give you." What an incredible offer! A young king, with boundless possibilities, could have asked for long life, immense wealth, or victory over his enemies. But Solomon's heart was pure. He recognized the monumental task before him, to govern God's vast people, and humbly asked for an understanding mind to govern your people, that I may discern between good and evil. God was delighted with Solomon's request. Because he asked for wisdom and not for selfish gain, God granted him not only an unsurpassed wisdom, but also the very things he didn't ask for: immense wealth, great honor, and a long life, if he remained obedient. This divine wisdom was immediately put to the test. The famous story of the two prostitutes and the single baby showcased Solomon's profound insight. Faced with two women claiming the same child, his startling command to cut the baby in half revealed the true mother's heart, leaving the people in awe of his God-given discernment. His fame for wisdom spread across the ancient world. With wisdom as his guide, Solomon ushered in a golden age for Israel. His first and most magnificent undertaking was the construction of the temple in Jerusalem. For 7 arduous years, artisans, laborers, and vast resources were dedicated to building a structure of unparalleled beauty and sacredness. Cedar from Lebanon, gold from Ophir, precious stones, every detail was crafted to honor the Almighty. The temple was not merely a building, it was the dwelling place for God's presence among His people, the culmination of a divine promise. Its dedication was a moment of national jubilation, filled with fire from heaven and the glory of the Lord. Beyond the temple, Solomon's reign was a period of astonishing prosperity and peace. He established formidable alliances, built a powerful navy, and secured vast trade routes that brought incredible wealth into Israel. He fortified cities, developed a powerful army, and oversaw monumental building projects, including his own opulent palace, which took 13 years to complete. His royal court became a center of learning, art, and justice. He wrote thousands of proverbs and songs, exploring the depths of human experience and the wisdom of God. Kings and queens from distant lands, like the Queen of Sheba, journeyed to Jerusalem, drawn by the reports of his wisdom and the splendor of his kingdom. After witnessing his riches, his court, and hearing his insights, she declared, "The half was not told me. Your wisdom and prosperity surpass the report that I heard." Israel had reached the zenith of its power and influence. Yet, within this dazzling triumph, lay the seeds of Solomon's tragic decline. Despite all his God-given wisdom, he began to stray from the very commands that had brought him blessing. God had warned against multiplying horses, silver, and especially wives, lest they turn his heart away. Solomon ignored these warnings. He amassed an unprecedented 1,400 chariots and 12,000 horsemen. He accumulated vast quantities of gold. And most disastrously, he took 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, many from foreign nations God had explicitly forbidden, for fear they would lead his people to idolatry. These women, indeed, turned his heart away from the Lord in his old age. His devotion, once singularly focused on the one true God, became divided. He began to build high places for their foreign gods, Ashtoreth, Moloch, Chemosh, right outside Jerusalem, allowing the very idolatry God had warned against to fester within his kingdom. The wise king became foolish. God's anger was kindled. The covenant he made with David and renewed with Solomon was being broken. God declared that the kingdom would be torn from Solomon's son, leaving him only a remnant tribe for David's sake. Solomon's story is a profound paradox. The wisest man who ever lived, the builder of God's first temple, ultimately fell due to the very prosperity and power God had granted him. His life serves as a powerful, timeless warning. Wisdom and blessings are not automatic guarantees against sin. Even with divine insight and immense privilege, sustained obedience to God's clear commands is paramount. Worldly success, left unchecked, can quietly erode spiritual devotion. Solomon's fall teaches us that true wisdom isn't just knowing God's commands, but diligently living by them, guarding our hearts from the subtle, seductive compromises that can turn even the greatest blessings into our greatest downfall. His legacy is a majestic temple, but also a sober reminder that the greatest wisdom is to always keep God first.